So, liebe Leute, ich heiße Sie alle herzlich willkommen noch einmal zu unserem Sprachprogramm. So, I extend a hearty welcome to all of you to our language program. Today, we are going to discuss a very important module in the German grammar called relative pronouns. Im Deutschen heißt es Relativpronomen. So this is very important as far as the German language is concerned, because the moment you step into the written language, that is the geschriebene Sprache, the usage of relative pronouns is inevitable. It is very, very necessary that we have a good knowledge of the relative pronouns and their function in the German written language. So before we go to the relative pronouns, we have to get an idea about the personal pronouns in German. Das heißt, zuerst befassen wir uns mit Personalpronomen. And after getting a good knowledge about the personal pronouns, then we will shift to the relative pronouns, because the personal pronouns and the relative pronouns are very closely knitted. They have a close combination. So first we deal with the masculine personal pronoun er. Look at the Beispielsatz. Lernt der Schüler Deutsch? Is the pupil learning German? Ja, lernt Deutsch. Yes, he learns German. So in the question, it was der Schüler, that is a noun, and in the answer we have substituted this noun with the help of the masculine pronoun er. I will read the Beispielsatz once again. Lernt der Schüler Deutsch? Ja, lernt Deutsch. So here, is a person, it's a pupil. We will avoid any terms like student. In German, the word student means somebody who is undergoing a study in the university. Here we are talking about the Schüler, a pupil. So, ja, lernt Deutsch. In that answer, is the pronoun and that is a person. And so naturally, we will have to translate this as he. Das heißt, bedeutet he. Lernt der Schüler Deutsch? Ja, lernt Deutsch. Yes, he learns German. But look at the sentence. Wo ist der Bleistift? Bleistift is a pencil. Where is the pencil? It is their Bleistift, it is a masculine noun, and so the pronoun of the masculine noun is also er. So our answer would be is here, it's lying here. But in this answer, is not a person, it is a thing. Das ist eine Sache. So we will have to translate it as it is lying here. Take the next sentence. Geht das Kind in die Schule? Is a child going to school? Is a kid going to school? Ja, es geht in die Schule. Yes, he or she is going to school. So in the answer, this S is a person and it can take the meaning he or she. If it is a boy, then we will have to say it is he, and if it is a girl, we will have to say it is she. Another sentence, wo ist das Buch? Where is the book? Es liegt hier. It's a thing, it is a Sache. So we will have to translate it as it. Another question, kommt Frau Petra heute? Nein, sie kommt heute nicht. Again, sie is a person, and here sie bedeutet she. Wo liegt die Stadt Paris? It is die Stadt, a feminine noun. So in the answer, sie liegt in Frankreich. But sie is no more a person here, it is a thing. So you had to say, it lies here. It lies in France. So, what does it mean? In German, when you say er, es or sie, we cannot say that er means he, es means it, and sie means she. Depending upon the context, we will have to look to which noun this pronoun is related. Accordingly, we will have to say whether it is a he or it, or a she or it, or the he or it. So, this is a very brief introduction to the personal pronouns, so that you will know what actually is the difference between a noun and a pronoun. A pronoun is closely related to the noun. Similarly, now we are coming to the relative pronouns. Das Relativpronomen leitet einen Relativsatz ein. So before we step into the concept of a Relativsatz, we have to say that in a Relativsatz, or in the combination of Relativsatz, there will be a Hauptsatz, there will be a main sentence, there will be a noun in that main sentence, and a Relativsatz will be explaining or describing one noun in a more exact way. We will come to the examples later, but then before that we will have to go across a couple of sentences. Ein Relativsatz is a Nebensatz. Relative sentence is also a type of Nebensatz, and das conjugated verb steht am Ende. The conjugated verb will be at the end of the relative sentence. And the most important thing that you have to know is that we are having two sentences, two Hauptsätze, two main sentences, and we always try to make a relative sentence from the second sentence. That means, man bildet einen Relativsatz immer aus dem zweiten Satz. This is a golden rule that you have to keep in mind, otherwise you will go wrong. Now, look at the Beispielsätze. Here we have two Hauptsätze. Er fährt zu seinen Eltern. Die Eltern wohnen auf dem Land. He is going to his parents, and the parents are staying in the countryside. Look at the second sentence here. Die Eltern wohnen auf dem Land. Clearly, it gives you more information. That means this sentence gives you more information about the noun Eltern in the first sentence. In the first sentence we have er fährt zu seinen Eltern, and the second sentence we are telling something more about these parents. Hence, the second Hauptsatz is closely related with the noun Eltern in the first sentence. So, we can make another sentence. Fährt zu seinen Eltern. Sie wohnen auf dem Land. Sie is actually personal pronoun. That's why we did this personal pronoun earlier. And going one more step ahead, we can say, fährt zu seinen Eltern, die wohnen auf dem Land. And here die is no more a personal pronoun, it is a demonstrative pronoun. So look, from the noun we have come to the level of personal pronouns, and from personal pronouns we have come to demonstrative pronoun. And from here we are coming to the relative pronoun. Fährt zu seinen Eltern, die auf dem Land wohnen. And die auf dem Land wohnen is a Nebensatz, but this Nebensatz has got a name. This name is Relativsatz. So I repeat once again, a Relativsatz is nothing but a Nebensatz which gives us more information about a noun in the first Hauptsatz, in the first main sentence. Der Relativsatz die auf dem Land wohnen bezieht sich auf das Nomen das Eltern. That is clear. That means the relative sentence die auf dem Land wohnen is referring to, is related to the noun Eltern in the first sentence. Hence, since this is showing some sort of a relation to a particular noun, these Nebensätze are known as Relativsätze. One more example. Der Arzt untersucht den Patienten. Ist berühmt. The doctor is examining the patient. Here I have given another brackets for Patienten and I have described it as Endeklination, just to remind you that Patient belongs to the end declination. Anyway, that is not the topic of our discussion. We are talking about relative sentences. Anyway, der Arzt untersucht den Patienten. Ist berühmt. Now the question arises here. The doctor examines the patient and then we say he is famous. Who is famous? Is it the doctor or the patient? We can interpret it anyway. If you think that the patient is important, then we have to say der Arzt untersucht den Patienten, der berühmt ist. That means der berühmt is related to the patient. Or if you think that the doctor is famous, then you have to say der Arzt, der berühmt ist, untersucht den Patienten. The doctor who is famous examines the patient. So this is what you should keep in mind. First, you have to find out the second sentence, to which noun is it related. Accordingly, you will have to make the relative sentence. And the relative sentence should come immediately after the noun to which it is related. Another Beispiel. Ich wohne in Hamburg. Hamburg ist eine weltberühmte Stadt. I am staying in Hamburg. Hamburg is a world famous city. Now, as you told earlier, we always have to make a relative sentence from the second sentence. So, we will get the sentence, Ich wohne in Hamburg, die eine weltbekannte Stadt ist. Man kann auch sagen, Hamburg, wo ich wohne, ist eine weltbekannte Stadt. Now look what has happened here. Hamburg, wo ich wohne, ist eine weltbekannte Stadt. What happened here is, from the first main sentence itself, we have made a relative sentence. And then we simply added the second sentence to this combination. Hence, this particular sentence is not exactly a relative sentence in the conventional meaning. This is known as a eingeschobener Relativsatz. And this eingeschobener Relativsatz we always find in a geschriebene Sprache, or rather in a written language. But ich wohne in der weltbekannten Stadt Hamburg. That is also possible. I am staying in a world famous city called Hamburg. This type of sentences we will find in the gesprochene Sprache, that means in the spoken sentence. So I would like to remind you to say that whenever you get two sentences, you should always try to make the relative sentence from the second sentence, adding it to the noun which is being referred. That is the very essence of the relative sentences. Now I am providing a table here for you. The nominative is der, den, dem, dessen. Feminine die, der, dessen, deren. Neutrum das, dem, dessen. Und Plural die, denen and deren. So these are the relative pronomen in one Überblick. It's always with these relative pronomens that we are trying to make relative sentences. Example sentences. Der Schüler is a masculine, singular. So der Schüler, der krank ist, muss die Prüfung nachholen. The pupil who is sick must repeat the examination. Das Kind, das krank ist, muss die Prüfung nachholen. Und die Schülerin, die krank ist, muss die Prüfung nachholen. Plural, die Schülerinnen, die krank sind, müssen die Prüfung nachholen. Accusativ, der Herr, den du gesehen hast, ist mein Onkel. Die Frau, die du gesehen hast, ist meine Tante. Und der Mann, dem du geholfen hast, ist alt. That is the Dativ. Und die Frau, der wir geholfen haben, ist alt. Die Männer, denen wir geholfen haben, sind dankbar. So this is dative plural. If you remember, the dative article for there is dem in masculine, dem in neutral, der in feminine, und den plus n in dative plural. So this den plus n they have taken together, and out of that they have constructed a relative pronoun called denen. That's why look at the sentence once again. Die Männer, denen wir geholfen haben, sind dankbar. The men whom we have helped, they are thankful. Then comes the Genitiv. Der Junge, dessen Eltern hier arbeiten, lernt Deutsch. The young fellow, whose parents are working here, learns German. Or die Frau, it's feminine, and so the genitive relative pronoun changes to deren. Die Frau, deren Handtasche gestohlen wurde, ist traurig. The lady whose handbag has been stolen is sad. Weitere Beispiele with preposition. You can also have relative sentences where prepositions are there. Beispiel: Der Herr, mit dem ich gesprochen habe, ist Arzt. Der Bus, in dem wir sitzen, fährt zum Bahnhof. The bus in which we are sitting is going to the station. Die Straße, durch die wir fahren, is die Hauptstraße. The street through which we are traveling is a main road, is a main street. Die Leute, von denen wir sprechen, sind Politiker. The people about whom we are talking are politicians. So, relative sentences can also have a preposition in front of the relative pronoun. Now, we are coming to another Beispielsatz. Das ist mein Freund, der gestern gekommen ist. That's my friend who has come yesterday. The same expression auf Hochdeutsch, high-level German, they express not with the help of a relative pronoun, but with the help of a word called welcher. Das ist mein Freund, welcher gestern gekommen ist. Welcher can be treated as a relative pronoun, but it is very, very different from the relative pronouns which you have learned. What I wanted to say is that the moment we step out of the peripheries of the standard German and goes up to the Hochdeutsch, there will be other relative pronouns also, but for you it may not be of immediate use. Another example: Da kommen meine Freunde, auf die wir gewartet haben. There, the friends are coming for whom we have waited, or we are waiting. Mein Zimmer hat ein großes Fenster, durch das ich auf die Straße sehe. My room has a big window through which I look to the street. Ich schenke ihr ein Buch, worüber sie sich freute. I am presenting her a book about which she is very, very happy. Ich habe von dem Unfall gehört, wovon die Zeitungen berichtet. I have heard about the accident about which the newspapers are reporting. Ich habe von dem Unfall, wovon die Zeitungen berichtet, gehört. There are two conventional ways of saying a relative sentence. The first one, ich habe von dem Unfall gehört. That means the participle zwei, you are adding to the first part. But some conservative grammarians are against this, and they say that the relative sentence will have to come immediately after the noun. And so you have the sentence, ich habe von dem Unfall, wovon die Zeitungen berichtet, and the participle zwei goes to the end. Wir fahren nach Chennai, wo wir 4 Lager gearbeitet haben. You should keep in mind that in this sentence, wo ist keine Fragewort, wo ist nur ein relative pronoun. Or, ich fahre nach Mumbai, woher mein Freund kommt. Woher is again, das ist kein Fragewort. In this particular context, das ist ein relative pronoun. Anderes Beispiel, ich habe sie in dieser Stadt kennengelernt, wohin ich gezogen bin. I have met her in this city to where I have shifted myself. Then another type of relative sentences are there. For example, das, was du suchst, ist schwer zu finden. Here the relative Satz is was du suchst. And you might wonder, there is no noun in the first sentence. There is only a word das. This is a typical feature of the German language. Here, that das can be a person, it can be a place, or it can be even a thing. That means the thing or the person or the place which you are searching, that's difficult to find. Das, was du suchst, ist schwer zu finden. Alles, was mir erzählt hat, ist falsch. Was mir erzählt hat, that is a relative sentence. But it is relating not to a noun, but the word alles. And there is no sentence also. So, alles, was mir erzählt hat, is falsch. Everything what he told me about is wrong. And alles is an indefinite pronoun. It's not a noun. That means a relative sentence can also refer to a thing, an article, or even a indefinite pronoun. The most important thing is coming. Look at the sentence. Wer nicht fleißig lernt, der besteht die Prüfung nicht. You might wonder, where is the relative sentence here? Wer nicht fleißig lernt, der besteht die Prüfung nicht. This is a very difficult situation where everybody may have to think twice or thrice, even 4 times to decide where is the relative sentence here? Wo is the relative sentence? The relative sentence is in the beginning. Wer nicht fleißig lernt. And how do we translate it? He who doesn't work hard, he will not pass the examination. He who doesn't work hard will not pass the examination. So this is a typical case, rather a unique case, where the relative sentence will come in the beginning, and only then the Hauptsatz will have a relevance. Another example, wer wagt, der gewinnt. He who dares will win. Will win is a main sentence. He who dares is the relative sentence. It is coming in the beginning. It is a very rare or a unique feature, maybe in German. So, weitere Beispiele. Wer den ganzen Tag arbeitet, der ist abends sehr müde. He who works the whole day, he is tired in the evening. Wen wir lieben, den möchten wir nicht verlieren. He whom we like, we will not like to lose. wer mir hilft, dem bin ich dankbar. He who helps me, I am thankful to him. So such types of typical relative sentences are also there. And don't forget, in such cases, the Relativsätze come zuerst, then der Hauptsatz. Usually, the Hauptsatz comes zuerst and then the Relativsätze. But here, I have already explained, we begin with the relative sentence and only then the Hauptsatz will have a relevance. And don't forget, here where doesn't mean who, it means he who. He who works hard will be profited. He who learns hard will pass the examination. So these are all some ideas about relative pronouns and Relativsätze. The basic thing that you have to keep in mind is that in the conventional type of Relativsätze, please don't forget to make the Relativsätze always from the second sentence. Otherwise, it will become a eingeschobener Satz. So that is all about Relativsätze. Herzlichen Dank und we'll meet soon. Tschüss, bye bye.